In this video, I'm going to show you how to hit the driver as straight as possible and even draw it a little bit. So stay tuned. Let's get started. So if you're struggling hitting the driver straight, or you're hitting it out of bounds, in the water, behind trees, this video is going to show you how to hit the ball as straight as possible. So if you want to hit the driver as straight as you can, it all starts with alignment. And golf can be counterintuitive, so the proper alignment is going to look a little bit more like this, okay? So we want our feet parallel to the target, but we want our hips and shoulders aiming a little bit to the right, okay? So why do we want to aim our hips and shoulders to the right? Think of it this way. What you want to do is swing from in to out. That's going to allow us to hit it straight with a little bit of a draw. What most people do is the opposite. What they tend to do is from the top here, they tend to swing out to in. And if you leave that face open, you're going to hit a big slice. Or if you don't leave the face open, now you're going to hit a low left hook shot that starts left and goes further left. Neither one of those are good options. So what we want to do is the opposite and swing in to out. Now a lot of you may be scared to slice it from there. No worries, you will not slice the golf ball as long as the face is square as you swing out to the right. So aligning our hips and shoulders to the right is not only going to help us with direction, it's also going to help us with power and launching the golf ball. So how would this help us with power is because to swing in to out, that's the fastest way to swing a golf club, where swinging out to in is actually the slowest way to swing the golf club as you're swinging into your body. Also, this is the most effective way to launch the golf ball. So if we come from out to in, and then we hit down on it, now that ball's going to pop straight up, or we're going to top it and go a few yards just in front of us. Whereas if we can swing in to out, now we've kept all the loft on the club face, and it's going to launch up nice and high with a little bit of a draw. Also, when we set up with our hips and shoulders aiming a little bit to the right, that actually allows us to turn a little bit more. So a lot of you think you have flexibility issues. When I find my lessons day in and day out is that people don't have flexibility issues. Their setup is just limiting the amount they're able to rotate in the backswing. The second step is to control the club face. All right, so what tends to happen is people in the backswing open up the club face as they take the club back. What I would have you do is keep that face square, right? So if I don't do anything with my hands here and I just turn my hips and shoulders, see how that face is more square or pointed down at the golf ball? What most amateurs do is as they take the club back, they roll their forearms and hands, and now that club face is pointed more to the sky. What that means is if I return that ball to that same position, now it's going to slice. So you don't slice because you're swinging to the right, you slice because the face is open. So when you're setting up, we want to turn while keeping the forearm rotation to a minimum. And what it's going to feel like is that club face is pointing down at the ground there, but it's actually just square. So pretty much the same angle as my spine as we turn. Another way to square the face is to flex the lead wrist in the downswing. So if I was to swing up to the top here and the face was a little bit open there, what I could do just by flexing that wrist is start to close that face. So now as I come down into the golf ball, now it's going to be much more square as I swing to the right, giving us that little bit of a draw coming through the shot. You'll see a ton of world-class players at the top do this. So as you swing to the top here, some pros like to do it at the top of the swing. Dustin Johnson, Colin Morikawa, John Rahm, they all flex the wrist at the top of the swing. That just makes the downswing that much easier. But you will see a lot of players do it on the way down as well. As long as you're flexing, that face is going to square up a little bit. So with these two steps, we've not only controlled the path, we've also controlled the face. Those are the two things that contribute the most into straight shots. So now that our alignment is good, as we know how to square the club face, the last piece of this would be the path in the downswing. So now that we have our feet parallel and our hips and shoulders aiming to the right, that sets us up to swing to the right, okay? And now that we know how to close the club face, we shouldn't be scared to swing to the right anymore, okay? So now how do we swing more to the right? So as we get to the top of the swing here, whether you're flexed at the top or you want to do it on the way down, totally up to you. The first move we want to make from the top is to shift our weight to the lead leg. Notice I said shift the weight to start the downswing, not turn to start the downswing. Because if we start to turn to start our downswing, now we're coming across the golf ball swinging to the left, Now we're going to slice it or hit those low hooks. So now let's put those three pieces together. So we're going to start with our feet parallel to the target. Our hips and shoulders are going to aim a little bit to the right. We're going to square the glove face and swing to the right. If this video helped you, tap the like button, and if you want to continue to get better at golf, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks for watching.